What we're going to talk about today is your attention is being trained. I'm going to say it again. Your attention is being trained. And the and sometimes what we ask is who's training it and what is the training based on? So what we're going to talk about today is controlled attention. Now, controlled attention is one of the 16 principles for Napoleon Hill. And the reason that I like this principle is because it helps with self discipline, perseverance, your definite major purpose, all of those things. So let's dive into it from a perspective of identity first, connecting the constructs and the pillars of Napoleon Hill with the identity first and how they are intertwined in so many ways. So controlled attention is deeper than you know making a list, and checking it twice, that kind of thing. And I'm a list person. Um, it's bigger than that. It's deeper than sitting in front of you and doing one thing. It's bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. See, your mind is being trained every day. Did I say some days? No. Every single day, your mind is being trained. Did I say every other day? No. Every day, your mind is being trained. And that is something that's consistent and constant. So the question is, who's training your mind? Just ask it, right? Who is training your mind? Now, I could jump all the way to the end and say your decisions and your actions and your patterns and all of that. However, let's take it one step at a time. Let's step into this just a little bit better. So the deal with that is every time something interrupts you and you automatically respond, you are literally training your mind. And that means when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is grab your phone and it gets your attention. You're training your mind because it's interrupting you, right? Every time, and I don't know about you, but I have learned to turn off a lot of the things that pop up on my phone, those dings. I said, oh no, you can ignore them, Johnny. No, turn some of them off because what it does is redirect your attention. So every time there's an interruption, it trains your mind to shift. And believe it or not, it takes a while normally for you to get back on track where you were before. So this is Mindset Maven, and where Napoleon Hill's success principles meet identity first. And the reason for that is they're both really powerful. However, to get you to your definite major purpose, to get you to think and grow. Notice I said think, pause, and grow rich. To get you to have the success principles. All of those things is connected to your identity as you step into principles. Now, the key with principles are something like that are consistent, constant, already established. It's not based on your belief system, it's based on principles work. Principles, one of the principles I think of is I think of gravity. Gravity works. You have to do something against it to not have it happen at the level it would normally happen. Because if you have something in your hand and you let it go, gravity is going to pull it down. It's going to fall, right? In order to keep it up, you have to do something intentional to cause it not to fall. So control attention is not just about becoming more focused. It's not that. Take the pressure off. It's not that. It's about becoming more intentional. It's not about becoming more focused. is about becoming more intentional. Intentional about what receives your mental power. Because I used to say something, and I still say it. To be honest, is where your focus goes, your power flows. I say that, and I'm gonna say it again. Where your focus goes, your power flows, and that is a huge thing because when your power goes in a different direction than you would like it to go, guess what? Your focus is already there with it too. So where your focus goes, your power flows. So now you need power over here to do this thing, but that ain't where your power is. Have you ever picked up the phone and somebody gave you and you said, "Oh, let me just press the button," and next thing you know, you're scrolling on whatever social media platform for a while, and it takes away from where you were. It's stealing your moments and your time and your energy, and that is critical. So think about your day. A notification appears and you respond. Someone sends you an emotional message and you react. A headline goes across your screen saying something that's interesting, and you become frightened and you start to investigate because you want to know is the truth. Because right now, a lot of things are coming across our screens, but we're not sure they're true. So we start doing deep dives or research to say, they said this, or that's that person's image, but is this true? So you have been realigned and your focus has shifted. So that investigation period, that time period makes a difference. So before long, what I have found is other people and outside circumstances have literally determined what my mind is doing. And when I repeat that long enough, when you repeat that long enough, what ends up happening is your reaction becomes habit. So now you're used to it, and the things you thought were hard, or the things you thought you were going to align with, or the things you thought you were going to do, you've already shifted and you're doing something else. And that's really important because a habit eventually becomes a way of living. See, the question is not simply what distracted me today. The better question is who decided what deserved my attention? Who decided what deserved your attention? Something external or something internal? Who decided? Now, in the end, we know we are the ones who did it. So today's tip, because I don't want to make this long, today's tip before responding to an interruption, what I'm going to tell you to do is to pause and ask yourself, does this deserve my attention right now? Not does it deserve my attention at all, but does it deserve my attention right now? And then declare this. I decided, or I decide, I determine what my mind serves. You have the power to determine that, to determine what your mind serves, where your mind goes, what your mind does. So I'd like you to help me with this as we move forward. I'm going to do several of these and to help us control our attention. And then we're going to move into a couple other Napoleon Hill principles as they relate directly to identity first. So please subscribe to Mindset Maven, Identity First, because identity decides before your action begins. I am Johnny, the Mindset Maven, helping you bridge the gap between what you know and what you do. That gap is action. That gap is connected to your identity. So be bold, be bold, be brave, and be determined to control your attention. You have the power, and it is your life. Because the one thing we do not get back is our time. So when we put our time over here, we can't put our time over here. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm just saying, let's all be intentional. Have an amazing day.